Alright, and welcome back to the stream, guys. Great to have you here. This is the Hearthstone.fi Monday Night Community Tournament number 24, semifinal number 2. And we have a Finland versus Sweden, a local final, semifinal, sorry. This should be a watcher's favorite, since a Funky is from Sweden and frstrm or Fosse is from Finland. We're gonna see a very, very interesting lineup from both of those players. Funky coming up with a very traditional Druid Hunter Mage, and Fosse coming with a Paladin Rogue Mage, probably mid-range Paladin or Rogue and Mech Mage. And Funky's probably fielding the one combo Druid with Face Hunter and Mech Mage as well. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the players that they are free to start. They are right across and next to each other, and I still have managed to miss it. Well, it happens sometimes. I'm gonna join this side of the Finnish player just because I'm a Finnish caster myself. Yeah, you can blame that I'm biased. It's just a small detail. Starting off with the Oil Rogue versus a Face Hunter. This is a difficult matchup for the Rogue. And he hasn't enabled the spectator mode for his friends, so he has to invite me to spectate.
Job's done.
The rogue side of the table.
The pleasure is mine.
I'll try and relog. Small details. Maybe we'll go ahead and join Funky's side of the board. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm not on my Finnish player's side of the board anymore. I am stuck with the Swede, but well, you can't have it all. And the weapon bug is present as well. The same we saw in the previous Paladin match. It's not actually visible, but I can assure you there is a 1-2 dagger, or a 1-1 dagger left right now for Fosse. Curving out after coined Haunted Creeper into a Glaive Zuka to make it a bit more of a threat, forcing the opposing rogue to use their face to take it out, and still left with 2 attack value of minions. It is looking very good for the Hunter player. Turn 3, Knife Juggler. If this is not popped and you'll be able to pop it yourself, that would be the perfect situation to use the Knife Juggler on, and then use the Abusive Sergeant later on maybe. If he does pop it, then the Sergeant into Hero Power makes sense, because you have the 1/1s you can use it on, and you don't want to be giving the Rogue any mana at this stage, so using the Golem right now is a bit of a waste. On turn 4, you can just Juggler Hero Power once again, utilizing it as much as you can. And this Spider has been MVP already, doing 4 damage to the face and still spawning 1/1s. That's pretty good value for it.
Too soon.
Backstabbing just those small spiders, it does enable you to combo out the SS7 agent, so I do respect that choice, but the Fan of Knives makes more sense. You have 2 targets for it at least. You're not left with any bodies on the board, so that's the downside of it. You optimally would want to see at least some sort of presence on the board against the Hunter, so you can use your 3/3 to take out the upcoming 2/1s or the 1/2s or the Maybe even the 3-1s. Because those Phantom Knives used on a 1-1 and against a 3-1 or even a 2-1, yeah, you could argue that both would be correct choices. But now that he didn't use the backstab, and we see the Knife Juggler coming down, the backstab is going to get a lot more value. So it was correctly played last turn to utilize that Phantom Knives. With the SS7 agent, you're able to clear the board completely. In theory, you could have gone for that Shredder as well. It would have curved out perfectly, but maybe just too greedy, too slow for this matchup. Against the Face Hunter, you really don't want to be left with any minions on the board if you're able to take them out during that turn. Any additional value from the minions is very, very bad for you. Now, lucky for Fosse, the Hunter does not have any beasts to activate his kill command yet, and the quick shot kill command is one of those combinations you don't want to be seeing in your hand right now. It is 6 damage by himself. Oh, double quick shot. Yeah, probably gonna see the Arcane Golem hero power utilized right now, because the Druid, the Rogue might end up getting a taunt somehow, and these guys will always be able to go for face. So that's 9 damage to the face straight up, and if you go for the Golem hero power rate this turn, that's 9 damage, which leaves 8 to be dealt. As I predicted, he's gonna go for it. And now he should go for the hero power. He should go for the hero power. It essentially does the same thing as that quick shot, and it doesn't empty your hand any more than necessary. You're at 27, the Rogue does not threaten lethal, nowhere close, actually. Yeah, using that quick shot, it's greedy. Now, in theory, when you did use it, even without the beast, you have 3, 6, and 8 on turn 7, but you're coming up to turn 6. So if you had to use the hero power this turn, then you would use turn 6 to do double quick shot hero power once again. And if you got lucky and got the beast, you could go for the kill command, Unleash the Hounds, and that would still be lethal. He would be at 8, Unleash the Hounds would be 2, and you could do the 5 from the kill command. Would it be lethal? That would be 5 plus 2, 7. Actually, it would not be lethal, so yeah. It would be 1 off. If he gets the Unleash the Hounds right now, and if the plays would have been the same, then the Unleash the Hounds would have actually been lethal. Just used that Arcane Golem, so the Abusive Sergeant is less value, and you're not curving out as nicely as you would have with the hero power, since you're forced to use the quick shot as 3 this turn. Popping down the Abusive Sergeant by itself. Why not? The downside here is the fact that you're not threatening the 2 damage anymore. And using the kill command as 3 means that the opposing rogue knows it's on a 1-turn timer. So unless the rogue is able to heal or go for the kill this turn, it is over for our Finnish player in the first match. But this is a bad and really tough matchup. Sometimes the old rogue is able to outrace the hunter, but not many times. 1-0 in favor of the Swedish player. Funky. Now we know that the Oil Rogue is an option for Fosse, and there's a Druid and a Mage left. If he picks the Druid, then you don't want to go with the Paladin. I don't think you want to go with the Paladin. On the other hand, if you go with the Paladin, then the Druid doesn't have the required AoEs. But if he's going for the mage and the mage is indeed mech mage, then the oil rogue is a good option to counter it. So holding on to the oil rogue and keep playing with it, that's a good call. The games have been going a bit longer than usual today, so it is now 10 minutes past midnight here in Finland. Starting off with a Cogmaster, curving out nicely into a Mad Scientist plus a Spider Tank. Very good start. The only better possible option would have been maybe to have a mech drop for 2 mana, but I don't think there are too many except for Eniodron right there. Using the backstab preemptively. We are in spectator mode and should see the cards from the faucet side of the board as well. We have to once again reset. And getting a Spider Tank, yep, just like I predicted.
So many options.
Yep. Once again, small delays in this tournament. Cast for you guys, we are sorry. We can't really help it. Blizzard has a mind of its own. Opting to not kill off the Echoing Ooze, instead letting the Eniodron handle it. Going for the face damage with the Spider Tank. I like it. You are the aggressor in this matchup. You should be able to finish off the rogue before it gets its big combos going, so don't fight for the board control too much. As you can hear, thanks to the latest BRM patch, Naxxrama's music has actually been brought to us in play mode and in friendly matches. When you're playing on the Naxx board, you actually hear the Naxx music nowadays, and I think that is a small but very delightful and a needed improvement in the game, so thanks for that. What does the rogue have as options? Well, he can eviscerate, combo it with Thalnos. At 4 mana, you don't really have anything to activate the SS7 agent either, and you can't drop your Sylvanas or Belcher yet.
So many options.
Could value your daggers. If you value your daggers enough, then you could go for the Dagger Up Thalnos and nothing else. But there's nothing to buff your daggers yet, so I honestly do think that the Eviscerate into this Spider Tank is better. Opting to go for the Sap Eviscerate play instead. Leaves one less body onto the board, but on the other hand, that annoying taunt has now been removed and the Echoing Ooze is not forced to be used. You can ignore that rope safely. That's one of our spectator mode bonuses. And for the next turn, it should not bug out anymore. Turn 6 is looking a lot like a mirror entity plus whatever might come from the deck. Holding onto the Thalnos for this mirror entity was actually a good call as well. You can combo it off with the SS7 agent. You do give the opposing mage a card, so that is a bit of a bummer. But it's not that big of a bummer. SS7 agent clearing out the 1-2, and this Echoing Ooze will more than likely go and eat away Blood Mage Thalnos from Funky's side of the board. No more spell damage, no more 1-1. Getting that value you know you want.
Ha, this guy's toast.
And you're actually threatening the Clockwork Gnome with both your 1-1s after that. It would provide a no synergy bonus to remove the Clockwork Gnome either. If you remove the Gnome, then they still have the Mech Warper left on the board. So I would honestly want him to see go for the Thalnos removal.
Choose soon.
You do put off pressure from your face when you kill the 2-1, but it's not that significant of a difference. Tinker Tower Technician, perfect on the curve, combines with the mirror entity, 100%. See what draws you get from the Thalnos kill. Now this is one of those reasons why you would have wanted to go for the kill on the Thalnos instead of the 2-1, because now he could trade evenly instead of only taking out one of them. Well, he decides to not play Whirling Blades this turn. He could have gotten 1 free damage from there, but maybe he's holding on to it before the Antonidas plays. At 6 mana, the anti-Keelbot is the more conservative choice, but it doesn't handle the Tinkertown Technician right now. If you go for the Sylvanas Windrunner, then you are threatening mind control at some stage later on. But he can also freely clear it out with the Warper plus the Technician if he wants to. This Belcher should be able to handle both these minions. The 4/4 plus hero power unfortunately clears it out, so it's not that good. I think the Sylvanas is actually the best play here. Lotheb has the same stats, but the Sylvanas threatens with the mind control a lot more. And this anti-Keelbot by itself would do pretty much nothing. Oh yeah, he's still got the dagger. It does change the dynamic of the match a little bit, because he could have in theory removed the Technician as well. Turn 7, Dr. Boom. If you've got Boom, play Dr. Boom. Or that's pretty much it. The Fireball draw, yeah, wasn't big enough of an impact. You could have removed the Belcher, gone for the attack with the Technician, but it's not too big. That mirror entity would have actually gotten pretty humongous value if it had been played in coordination with this Tinkertown Technician. You would have given yourself a Sludge Belcher.
So many options.
Now, last turn Sylvanas was pretty much perfect on the curve. Now you're on turn 7. It's not looking so hot anymore. Forcing to sap a Dr. Boom. Yeah, it's a 7/7 sap, but it creates more boom bots, and those boom bots are just not fun. If Foster was to attack into the boom bots, he should have attacked with it into the boom bot before playing Lotheb. Now he opts to go for the removal on Tinkertown Technician. Does push the Belcher down to just 1 hit point, so these boom bots will always get guaranteed value on it. Let's see if he high rolls on the Lotheb. 4 damage on it. Oh, 3 to the face instead. This could still roll into the slime as well. Nope. And since Lotheb's action was, or Battlecry was in effect, all of these spells were useless. Replaying the Dr. Boom makes sense. These 1/1s threaten to clear out the board by themselves. Now the only reason you would go and attack the Dr. Boom is of course if you're gonna combo out the Assassin Agent. In theory this Boom bot can take out either one of those minions, but it requires a bit of luck already. So even though the Oil Rogue is very low on cards and low on hit points, if it is able to draw into something like Sprint, then you can go ahead and prep Sprint yourself back into cards. Prep Fan Knives. I actually want to see the Fan Knives played without the prep, because if he now gets the sprint from the Fan Knives, it means that he won't be able to play it this turn. Or he will be able to play it at 7+2, but it won't be as effective. Edwin. Of course, then you play Sylvanas into Edwin, and that's a 6/6 Edwin for your side of the board. Not too bad. Turning out the 4/4 for the spell dash, and the possibility of doing something with the Sylvanas. Oh yeah, it's an 8/8, of course. Because of the prep, I did not count the prep into this. Unfortunately, it is in big game hunter range, but you're facing a mech mage, so mech mages don't run BGH, so it's completely fine. 2 damage to the face, missing 14, fireball 6, 9, 10, 11. If all of the Goblin Blast Mage hits go to the face, he's left with 6 mana, and it's lethal. No, it's not lethal, it's 1-off lethal. So he opts to go and remove the 8/8 by freezing it and actually using that fireball to take out the Sylvanas, so the mind control isn't a threat anymore. I like it. I like that play a lot. I didn't even see it myself. I'm starting to get a bit weary, it seems, to all the options available to the players. This backstab a completely dead card. No, you can't unfortunately backstab your opposing hero either. Just forced to go for any sort of removal play. Backstab hero power onto this Snow Juggler at least removes the mech synergy from the board for the time being. 7, so that's 3, 4. And not hero powering because it is frozen. 3, 4 would have been left with 3. Yep.
Well played.
It is now 2-0 for the Swedish player. Not looking good for our last Finnish player left in the tournament. Fosse, I want you to pick it up. I want you to take it to 3-2 and take it to the 5th match and win it home for us. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. You only have to win against a druid with all your decks. Paladin, Rogue, and Mage, and druids don't really have that many bad matchups. It's at least one combo druid, could be double combo as well. Holding on to the shade, throwing out everything else more than likely. Yep. And once again it's bugged. We can't see Foss's hand. Starting out with the Zombie Chow. Curving nicely into Shade and Keeper and Pilot Shredder. What? Maybe this is an aggressive Paladin. If Foss runs an aggro Paladin, that would be something else. We have to redo it. He actually knew what we were after. Did it again. Thank you, Mr. Funky. Yes, this is an aggro paladin. Wow. I have not seen this in a long time. Now this means that the Zombie Chow is probably going to be MVP in this match. Because it'll be able to deny the threats from the Knife Jugglers and from what have you. This turn 2, just shapeshift out the 2/1, use the Chow for removal on the Knife Juggler. You do not want to get the Muster for Battle free damage to the face.
What?
Now, you could go for the Coin Shade of Noxtramas as well, but that's very, very greedy. So you should not do that. And when you remove the board from the Paladin completely, they don't have targets for their Blessings of Might. Just gonna be the Muster, saving 3 damage there by the Zombie Chow. Let's see if it ends up mattering. Good coin swipe, but that's a bit of a waste. Coining out the Shredder or the Keeper makes more sense. You're also making sure that your hand is always small. When you're playing against an aggro paladin, the Divine Favor would get pretty massive value if you're not able to hold your hand size down. And getting the Explosive Sheep as well. Pretty much the best possible board clear from you can get from that 4-3. Shredder. Double Divine Favor in Foss's hand as well is not good. You do not want to see double Divine Favor in any circumstances. One of them is always what you need. Trying to push for face damage. Let's see if it works. Swipe. You can either swipe or go for the sheep clear. The options are so wide right now. One could even argue not killing the sheep would be okay, but on the other hand, then they would just use Last Justice to take it out. Clearing the board with the sheep, dropping the shade instead of the keeper. I think the need for the 2 damage is the reason why you're holding on to it. You can use the battle cry to kill some minions from the opposing side of the board. Forced to use the Divine Favor as just 3 cards. Not optimal, but at least to get some value out of one of them. You can cycle the Wrath. It's looking very good for the Druid player. It is looking very, very good. He's got the exact cards he needs right now. Start balancing the board, and you can go for the hero power, take out the Divine Shield. Even attack it with the 3/3. And opts to actually hold the Shade of Noxdramas stealthed. He wants to finish and win the game with the combo, with the Shade's help. And the 1/1 isn't a big threat because the swipes, double swipe in your hand, you'll be able to handle whatever it is that's coming out. Equality, Blessing of Might, Hammer, Juggler, double equality actually.
Let me think.
The hand just keeps getting clunkier and worse for Fossa. Squire, no, you don't want to play that yet without the Juggler down. You should just hero power this turn. Playing the Juggler is risky because it's not guaranteed value this turn. It would be guaranteed value with the Squire hero power later on. So playing just the hero power right now is the right call, in my opinion. Turn 6, if there are no targets except that single Squire, then Thaurisan is the greedy option. Lothep makes sure that the Paladin is not playing any shenanigans on the next turn, but it's not perfect on the curve. Yeah, playing the Juggler without any value. That's a mistake. The swipe is going to come down, or the Keeper of the Grove for the 2 damage is going to come down. I predict the Keeper for 2, and then use the hero power to kill out the 1/1. Yep. And now it's actually safe to attack with the Shade as well. He should attack with the Shade because of the fact that whatever there is, there we go. It would be able to handle it. Something like the Equality Consecration would still be able to kill it without it having any stealth. True Silver Champion, pretty nice top deck. That's 8 damage combined right there. And since the Druid is holding on to 0 taunts, the Paladin might actually have a chance. If it top decks into something that rushes very, very hard, it might have a chance. If the Druid gets something like an Ancient of Lore for the heal, that would make his situation much better. Okay, so it's a double combo Druid. 7 damage. Lothep, yep, Lothep is a good call. The Paladin is more than likely holding on to just spells. Lothep hero power takes out the 1/1. You can actually ignore this Divine Shielded Squire if you will. Yep, and go for the face damage. Try and push it. With that swipe play and hero power, you're gonna clear the board completely. No targets for the Blessing of Might. No Lothep either. And with double Savage Roar, you're giving 6, 12, and you'll have lethal next turn. With the existing minions. Even if you remove this Keeper of the Grove, is it 17? Okay, then it's not lethal anymore. It's just 8 plus 6. So that's 14 and 3 off lethal. But if he does not clear out the 2/4, then the game is over already. See, since he's playing a face Paladin, he probably will go for the face attack. It's 19 damage, 12 plus... No, 20. 12 plus 8 from the minions. These equalities are just dead cards, dead weight right now. Playing one of them just to throw it out. Get more cards out of the Divine Favor. 3 draw. Let's see if it makes any difference. Unless it's board clear of some sort. Let's see, deckhand. Yep, that will be able to deal some damage. Is it enough? Double Blessing of Might. 8, and that's exact lethal. That is one of the only cards that he could have drawn right now with the charge at 1 mana. Exactly what he needed. Foster's making a comeback. Good on you, man. That aggro paladin getting the clutch top deck from exactly the situation what he needed. It is now 1-2, still in favor of the Swedish player though. Wow, that's definitely a better ending for that match than I had hoped for. Really, really tight clutch to get that South Sea deckhand from the deck. So what does he have left? He's still got the rogue and the mage. And he will be facing the druid at all times. Just making sure that we're on the same page here. Asking me if the rogue and the mage are the ones that he's still got left. Confirming. If you're facing the druid, then from that comment, I'm guessing he's not going to play the rogue. He's going to go for the mage. Nope, he's going for the rogue.
Watch your back.
I must protect the wild.
I agree with this choice because the fact that the mech mage is a hard bargain against the druid. The modern druids usually run some sort of removal or blockage against you. Double Shade on X-Romus, unfortunately no innervates to take it out on turn 1. Zombie Chow, it's better late than never. 1 mana off of usefulness, but still. And we're bugged out again. That's probably a backstab. Wait and see. Wow, that was close. If he had conceded because of that, I would have felt bad. I'll never use the term redo again. Sorry, guys. You have to think about your words more carefully. After this, we will still have the finals going, which will be another best of 5. It's looking a lot like the games will go somewhere close to 1:30 in the night. Well, what would we not do for our favorite game? Getting that buffed prep sprint with your Violet Teacher up is very, very strong for the old rogue. Is he pushing himself up to 10 cards though? No, 9 cards, yeah. So he will not be overdrawing this turn. Attack from the weapon, 1 to the face. Not sure if the weapon is still up there. Because of the fact that we can't still see it. The spectator mode bugging out. No real options other than Lothip on this turn 5. Could maybe, in theory, delay playing it. It's fake that you've got other options in your hand, but I would appreciate if the players did not do any excess delaying this turn. He is holding on to the combo. So if he draws into Innervate next turn, is it lethal? That's 4, 9, 14, 6, that's 20 plus 14. Yes, it's lethal. If he gets Innervate from the top deck, then Funky has the game unless this 5/5 Loatheb is removed. And a big Blade Flurry is effectively denied by the Loatheb. So this turn 5, Foss is basically forced to play just a Hero Power Dagger Mastery into a vanilla Farseer or SS7 Agent. Those are not situations you want to see or play. Yeah, we can also just play the Violet Teacher number 2 if you want. It's not a bad call.
Choose soon.
Let's see. The next draw here. Oh, he also had an Azure Drake. I did not see that. The downside with the Azure Drake is now he's got 10 cards in his hand. So he will burn one card. Now the Loatheb has been removed. It's not the Innervate, it's instead another sticky minion with the Pilot Shredder, Hero Power. Yep, you could argue for Wild Growth, try and go for the Force of Nature Savage Roar faster. But do you really want that to be the case? If you Wild Growth now, then you'll get to use it one turn earlier. Not next turn, but the turn after that. It's a tricky call. With the Hero Power, you're pushing yourself out of range of the Oil Road. Not a lot, but still a little. You don't want to attack with the 4/4s and the 5/5s. On the other hand, you're afraid of a big flurry. So you might want to attack anyway. And if you attack with the 4/4 and create, basically forced to attack with the 5/5 as well.
My hand is too full.
Destroying a Loatheb, that's bad.
Mistakes.
The Loatheb would have been able to deny the Force of Nature Savage Roar on turn 9. So Fossep overdrawing there.
I wonder.
Let's see if that Loatheb play would have actually won him the game. 9 damage on board. If he gets the Innervate once again, it will be lethal. Sap could be used on this Shade of Noxtramas to reset it. I personally do prefer seeing it because of the fact that this Druid deck right now is not presenting anything except a threat with the Shade, so resetting those 4 hit points out of your own pool removal by taking out the Shade before it becomes a 6/6, that would be an okay option. And if you're gonna go with it, then the Violet Teacher first makes a lot of sense because then you're able to get the 1/1 out of it. Yep, there's the sap. Good call.
I'm ready to learn.
You don't have the spell power bonus needed to combo Eviscerate kill it either, so. If he had Shiv SS7 Agent, that's still 3, not enough for him. If his SS7 Agent would have been enough, but that's a bit of a waste of an Eviscerate. And since Funky is going for the face damage, it's signaling to Fossa that he is playing the aggressive version of this Druid deck. Fan of Knives, it's still missing 1 from killing off the Shade of Noxtramas. Now what Funky wants is the fact that when the Violet Teacher attacks into the Pilot Shredder, that this Shredder spawns a minion that has got more than 1 hit point.
So
Because if it only has 1 hit point, then the Violet Apprentice will be able to take it out. Nope, 0-2 Nerubian Egg. Well, that's not something you will see destroyed, but it's also not going to help you a whole lot. It's just 2 hit points with the Savage Roar combo. Picking it up to 16. There's the combo assist on it. Should take out the second shredder. If it's got 2 or more attack value,
I am ready to learn.
unfortunately for them though, the eviscerate also takes out the armor smith perfectly.
Well played.
Sorry.
Force of Nature, 14. Savage Roar, plus 4, plus 3, that's 7. 21, exact lethal, isn't it? Yes, it's exact lethal. It is GG. Well played. And Funky from Sweden goes to the grand finals, where he will be facing
Well played.
our French player, NRV.
Well played.
This has been a really up and down battle. Could have gone for the rogue as well, depending on those spawns. But the matchup is in favor of the druid in that case. So it's what was expected to be seen. We'll take a very, very short break before we head to the final. So don't go anywhere, guys. This is the Hearthstone.fi Monday Night Community Tournament number 24. We will be right back.